This episode of Shit My Dad Taught Me is brought to you by our sponsor and good friend, Matthew Stevenson, insurance and estate planning expert. If you're listening to this and you're a Canadian business owner, you're probably paying too much in taxes. Matt can prove this to you, and most importantly, he can help you greatly reduce the amount of taxes you pay. He's not just an insurance guy, he's a strategist. He works alongside your accountants, lawyers, and other advisors to build a real plan that protects your business, your family, and your legacy. Trust me, if you run a successful business and you're not talking to Matt directly right now, you're overpaying taxes, period. If you're ready to stop paying more than you need to, reach out to Matthew Stevenson. You can visit him at matthew-stevenson.ca. Shoot him a DM. We're going to tag him on this episode. Tell him Chris and Jamie sent you. Thanks, Matt.
Shit, my dad taught me.
Wait, live? I didn't know we were live.
Okay. Now we're live. Well, not live, like
live,
record,
live,
but
say, yeah. Whatever, yeah. I hear all the terms in TV. Yeah.
Sorry, the pro knows the real words.
Live.
Rick Campanelli.
Yes.
Man, welcome.
Chris, Jamie, thanks, guys, for having me.
We're
honored.
I've been watching you guys for a while. You do great
man.
work, and you have some very cool people sitting in this chair over here. It's an honor to be here in this chair today.
Well, you're one of those cool people, man. So I'll start by saying I relentlessly slid into your DMs for a long time to make this happen.
True.
Kids listening at
good.
home, if you
It's
know
all good.
somebody you want to meet, go make it
You're
happen.
not the only one.
Well, let's have a look.
Best looking.
Best looking.
All right, we'll take it.
Most committed.
That's it. Yeah. Committed, man.
Yeah.
I got that. Persistent.
Yeah.
So, Rick, we have a tradition to start the show with a little ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It's our way of phoning it in.
Okay.
We introduce. I mean, you don't need an introduction, but I'll do it anyways,
do
just
it.
so that those who are maybe new to your career will or maybe learn something about how vast it is. So, ChatGPT intro. Rick Campanelli is one of Canada's most recognizable and loved media personalities. Right? A broadcasting icon whose career began when he won MuchMusic's MuchTemp contest in 1994.
Yes.
Therefore, earning the nickname Rick the Temp. But he actually went on to become Rick the Franchise. Over 12 years, he became a fixture on Canadian entertainment television with roles on E.T. Canada, Deal or No Deal Canada. Is that all right? I don't remember the Deal or No Deal thing. You rocking with Howie?
Minimally. Yeah? I'll explain once we get into it. I can explain now.
Yeah, give me a taste. Go, man.
I did a promo for Howie's show up here in Canada because he brought the show up to Canada for a little while. And it was airing on Global, where ET Canada used to air when I was there.
Was Howie doing it in Canada?
Howie was doing it,
Right, okay.
and I did like a little promo for it. I never got to hang out with anyone from the show, but I guess doing this promo
It hit the
made
news.
me part of the show.
ChatGPT is giving you credit.
Like, I wish I could have done more.
Count it.
But,
and then you did do more. So it says since then, he's transitioned into radio, live TV reporting.
They told me I had a face for radio after my TV career ended.
we were
Not a
told
face.
podcasting.
And according to right now, not a face for this area. But
Yeah, that's it. And then CHFI, Breakfast Television Toronto, while remaining deeply rooted in philanthropy and community.
Oh, yeah, always.
That's it, man.
Since day one. Even before TV and radio.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear more about that.
Amen.
And then I have to say this part because I'll tell you there was a bunch of reasons why I wanted to meet you. And again, thank you. But this one is awesome. And I don't think a lot of people know this, but Rick is equally devoted to his family. A proud father of 3, he has openly shared how taking paternal leave early in fatherhood changed his life, cementing his belief in hands-on parenting.
Hands-on. I want to be there. I want to be part of every minute that my wife is going, because your spouse goes through the process when you're having a kid. You're just there for support, but I wanted to be there every second of every day. When my first wife was going through it with my eldest son, Noah, and when my wife, Angie, was going through it with Jack and Harrison. It's actually, it's cool the way it worked because when I had my first son 20 years ago, I was at MuchMusic, and I didn't think I was able to take a lot of time off to be, and I probably didn't. I never really looked into it as seriously as I did.
Or scared to take it
Or
off.
scared to take it off,
Yeah.
not knowing what would happen,
Right.
And you're on TV, you're on MuchMusic. VJs can't have kids. They're kids themselves.
You gotta be the cool single guy.
Right. But Master T had kids, and he inspired me. No, my older siblings inspired me as well, and my parents. But when Jack came along, my middle child, I told my wife, I'm going to be here with you through this whole process. I'm going to try to take as much time off from ET Canada as I can, and they allowed me. And then when Harrison, my third child, was born, I went the max. I took as much time because that was the priority, and it still is. My family, I just wanted to be there.
That's amazing.
You know, my work and my jobs, they don't really define me. It's the father that I am, and the spouse to my wife, and you know, I've got siblings as well. It's family. It's family that defines me.
So where'd that come from? Tell me.
I think my
growing up.
parents.
Yeah.
I think my parents and my grandparents, my nono and nona from Italy, who I only got to see a few times because they never did come over to Canada to visit. We would always go over there to see them, but they were my grandparents. We couldn't really communicate because they spoke Italian and I didn't speak Italian. But we were when we were together, it was special. So that was in Italy, but I had grandparents in Canada as well that grew up with us in Hamilton. We were always there. So that's where it started. And of course, your parents teach you right from wrong and morals and values. And my parents did that to myself and my older 3 siblings. So that's where it started. And I always wanted to be the best dad I could and best husband I could. I guess it starts with being the best husband. The first one failed, you know, but I got a second crack at it, and I'm trying to make up for
learning experiences.
Because you know, I got married the first time. I was a lot younger. I was at MuchMusic. I don't really think I gave it enough time to breathe. I should have just. I met my first wife 6 months into my job in 1996.
So your hair was on fire.
Hair was on fire. There was so much going on around me.
God.
I don't think. And I don't regret anything, but I just don't think I was prepared for that institution of marriage at the time. And but we were together for 12 years, 6 dating, 6 married, and we have a beautiful son, Noah, who's 20 now. And everything happens for a reason in life. And then I met my second wife at ET Canada and had 2 more kids. But it's always a learning experience, like you said.
Yeah,
with me, I think it is with everyone in life. Throughout life.
It's crazy how there's a lot that people just don't know, right? Like they can watch TV, they can watch your Facebook, your Instagram, but there's
there's so much going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, and you know, you try to post a lot. You know, you want to be transparent with people in your community, but there's a ton of stuff that people don't know about me.
Yeah,
that they're about to find out about me next year. I'm writing a memoir.
That's amazing.
Okay,
Sorry, I just was thinking about that. Might as well talk about it.
Go for it, man.
But yeah, all the things that people think they know about me from just watching me on TV or listening to me on the radio, that's part of it. But there's a big other part that people don't really know. And I thought, you know, I'm 55 now. I've been at it for 30 plus years.
Jesus Christ, you're 55? I would never have guessed that.
Skincare routine on point. for listeners at home.
No,
take care of
I'm a
yourself.
sun worshiper. I love the sun, man. Give me more of the sun. I wear sunscreen, yes, but drinking lots of water, and this drink here tends to help me.
Yeah, pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's very good.
Bruce is a big hit for sure.
But yeah, I got a big story coming out next year. Then I think people are going to be surprised, and hopefully they take it in and forgive me for the things I did in the past. But when you're young, you do crazy things.
I've always wondered when people go back to write those, because like I believe people want to write those for the right reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
When you go through your past, and you don't have to like get into, if there is a no to this answer, you don't have to get into it. But like, do you ever get to the point where you're like, I want to be honest and let people know the real me, but then when you start digging into that, there's some things that you're like, I don't know if I really want to let that out.
100%. Totally, you hit it on the head.
Then how much, like when you talk to people about like, hey, this is my whole life, then how much do you say is like, is that really somebody's real life? Like most of those kind of memoirs. Is it like 80, 90%?
I can't speak for anyone else's memoir because I'm not writing those. I'm writing mine with a ghost writer, a friend of mine who was the writer at ET Canada, John Meyer. And we said going into this, and we've been working on this like for a year, just over a year now, everything is going to be factual, truthful, and honest. There's no embellishment, no exaggeration. These are the true words of what happened from day one. I start with my parents and how they met in Hamilton, and going right, you know, those first few chapters. You got to start with, you know, what built you, the base, you know, what built us, and then we move into my career. But everything that went on in the career is factual, and there's no embellishment. It's all genuine and sincere and truthful, and it is what it is. 100% me.
Yeah.
And people probably didn't know 70% of that when I'm writing.
Right.
But it's about to come out, and it's therapy in a way for me too,
Yeah,
because
good for you.
I hid these things. It was very. I was very secretive about these things. A couple people knew, of course, my spouse, my wife, my first wife, and my second wife, and my family members. But not
Right.
many other people knew what I was living and what I was going through, and what I still go through and try to live with on a daily basis.
And I
to this day.
think that helps people, right? Like I think
Yeah,
when
it
somebody
does.
reads
When
something
you share
like that,
your story,
and they've got a version
gosh.
of you in their mind, but then they realize, you've gone through a bunch of shit and you've done a bunch of things to help yourself.
I've always said, like, I don't want to. And I worked for a show that was very polished. Entertainment Tonight kind of was very polished. Never showed our mistakes. Never showed any little impromptu gestures that weren't right for television. MuchMusic was total opposite. It was us. I made mistakes on a daily basis, and I think I don't think I prefer that approach to
raw.
life, the raw, the real, and I think people appreciate that more as well. And I've always been that way. I'll continue to be that way until the day I die. I am who I am, and I was embarrassed by a few things growing up, but when you're younger, you always are more self-conscious about certain things. But now, no regrets. I'm older, more mature, ready to tell my story. And if I can help someone along in their journey, if they're struggling with what I struggled with, it'll bring a smile to my face.
That's huge, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, good for you. You
Thanks,
got a
guys.
release date? Like, do we know when we're going to be able to read it?
We're halfway through writing it,
Okay.
and we're working with a big publisher in Canada. And fall, let's say summer or fall of next year, which will be my 30th anniversary of going on television for MuchMusic.
That's a cool celebration.
1996.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So 2026 might be a nice anniversary.
So next fall, you're going to be a busy guy doing all your book signings.
I'll be
all
back
your-
on this show with you
There
guys
you
if you
go.
have me.
Please,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for
and
sure, guys.
We'll follow
Yeah.
along for
Yeah.
sure.
And then the real discussion starts.
And then we get to put it right there.
Oh man, yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Elon
that's-
Musk
That's
was on the show.
well,
No,
Jamie
no.
put a Tesla, so kind of.
That's my cyber beast.
I
Yeah.
saw a nice one in the parking lot. That's yours?
Yeah.
What color is that? That's cobalt? What is that?
Yeah, it's like a metallic cobalt, but with the matte finish on it instead of
Holy
shiny.
man, you
Yeah.
do well with this podcast.
Well, we're busy boys outside.
We're
of this.
busy. Yeah,
I'm just joking.
Yeah, 100%, man.
yeah,
So
like drug dealing's been busy.
yeah, it's so hard to balance.
I love
it
how you
all.
don't shy away from anything on this show either. Like, okay,
No, we don't, man.
It's real.
So I don't want to go. I love a surprise, and I'm excited to read your memoir. But I would be remiss to ask. Mental health is always something that we try and talk about, and we do it super intentionally because we just
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
men should have dialogue around
Yeah,
that.
sure.
So how in the world do you balance being this dad, this husband, this celebrity? What do you do to prepare yourself? How do you keep balance? What do you do?
I'm a very positive guy and very optimistic. Half is the glass is half full all the time for me, and I want to take advantage of every opportunity that comes my way, and I want to live life. And I think my dad taught me the best rule, or gave me the best advice in life. He says we only live once. But if we live it the right way, once is enough. Like if we do what we want to do,
Love that.
take advantage of things, like do things that you would travel, do this, start this business, whatever.
No regrets.
regrets. Just do it all. And then I think once is enough. You're right, because we don't want to overstay our welcome.
Yeah.
Let other human beings do their thing
Yeah.
when we're gone. And he also said, the mountain isn't gonna come to you. You got to go to the mountain and accomplish your goals and follow your dreams. So it's all of that stuff, I think, that keeps me positive and keeps me moving forward and keeps me interested in things in life. I've never been a negative person. I think that there's no room for that in my space.
Yeah. Well, that comes across in your work.
I
mean,
hope
that's
so. Thank you.
100%.
Yeah, like I work with a lot of people that are that way, that are total opposite than me, but everyone's different. But I just always wanted to be positive. Let's get it done. Let's have a good time doing it.
Yeah, but I imagine that's going to be like if I asked you what you think the cornerstone of your success was, it would probably be that, right? Because all these celebrities and great people, like
interaction,
they get to choose who they work with, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
being a nice, positive guy is.
You're right. I think because later in my career, people would come back and say, "Well, could we have that guy talk to us again? We had such a good time." And I think that meant so much to me,
That's amazing.
Not knowing that would happen later for the second, third, fourth interview. It happened a lot with the boy bands. I know that. Got pigeonholed into that genre. I'm a rock and roller, man.
To read the memoir.
No, it's all good. They were making a lot of people happy, and they continue to make a a lot of people happy. I respect that. Still do.
How about all those boys going back out on tour, selling out arenas?
Well, I don't know about 98 Degrees.
Come on, man. They're going to be playing OLG stage.
Yeah, I'll probably be there, but still.
I
think there's still a chance. I still got a chance.
I want to ask about Dad too, man, because I love those 2 points of wisdom. What did Dad do for work?
So my dad came over when he was 17 from Italy. He took a boat from Genoa to Halifax. Took him 5 days. He was on the very bottom of the boat. He was like this poor kid, farmer kid, grew up on a farm with older siblings, a couple of younger siblings. My grandparents over there were farmers. And so he came over here because his one older brother went up to France. He was a police officer. And so my dad went there first because he was going to be a cyclist professionally. But he didn't have a visa to stay there. So he got thrown out of the country. His other older brother came to Hamilton to work in the steel factories. So my dad thought, okay, I want to get out of what I'm doing now on this farm, and I want a better life. So he came to Hamilton, did a little construction in his early years, and became an insulator. So he was insulating pipes for a living for many, many years, close to 40 years. And he's, we joke around when we talk about this. He's responsible for putting all the asbestos in the buildings all over the place. Yeah, but
I thought you were going to make a laying the pipe joke. Just so you know, that's where I thought that was going. He's laid a lot of pipe.
You have to ask him that.
But he was actually coating the pipes.
He was coating the pipes. Yeah. But I put myself through university in the 90s by removing all the asbestos that him and his buddies installed in all these universities or buildings. So he put it in and I took it out.
How's his health? He okay?
He's got asbestosis.
He does.
He just was diagnosed with that earlier this year. Just earlier this year. He's going to be 90 in March.
Wow.
And he went through a stroke in December, moderate. So he was knocked out for a while, in hospital for 3 months. Had to do a lot of tests. And the doctors finally found out that he's got asbestosis after all these years. So, but no symptoms for my dad. He's still strong as a bull. He uses a walker and a cane these days, but he still lives life and is very active and wants to do things. And I took him to Montreal with my oldest son for the Formula One race. I'm taking him to Niagara Falls for a weekend getaway in a couple of weekends. He lives on his own still.
At 90, that's awesome.
We were there for him when he was discharged from the hospital because we had to keep our eye on him. You know? So I would sleep over. My older siblings would help during the day. But he said, I want to be on my own again. I miss my independence. What are you guys doing around all the time? So he kicked his kids out. He's old school. Yeah. So we put him those chair lifts in because he's got one of these old, over 100-year-old houses in Hamilton and a lot of stairs. So we moderated it and renovated his house, and that's where he wants to be. It's his house. He's been there for over 60 years.
Wow.
It's not longer than that. 70
Can you imagine? People don't do that anymore.
No, man. He's never moved. Since he came to Canada, that's where I'm sure he was bored, in out East End and living there when he was first here, but he settled there in this house with my mom, and they've been in the same place ever since.
That's a bit of a dying breed, eh?
Yeah. Oh,
Can you imagine working that hard for that many years with that? And just like...
Yeah,
that's
he was
real men doing real man shit.
He never complained. He's a bull. That generation, they're bulls. They just do it. They just no complaining, no asking questions. Well, this is what we're doing today. Let's do it until the job is done, and then go home, have a nice meal, get some rest, and we'll do it all over again the next day, whatever the job is.
And he is a glass half full guy. He's got that same energy. Yeah.
I think his glass is 3/4
3/4
full.
at any
It's
time.
almost up to
Good
the
for
brim,
him.
man. That guy.
Good for him.
He's always smiling, always positive, and of course he's slowing down a little bit now because of the stroke. But he wants to keep going until he can't anymore. And that's the attitude I have too.
Yeah. And same kind of dad, like really showed up the way you do.
Well, he was, he was, gosh, because my mom was a stay-at-home mom. She was raising 4 kids. So my dad was always out, whether it was in Sudbury, where his job took him for construction or insulating, or Thunder Bay, wherever it was. Well, he went where the work was. When it was slow in Hamilton, he went there. So he wasn't always around us 24/7 like I try to be with my boys. But when he was home, he was there, whether he was, taking us to soccer games or soccer practices, or teaching me how to drive the car, or showing me how to swing a golf club, kick a soccer ball. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, did it all.
When he wasn't working, he was with the kids and my mom.
Did it all.
Did it all. Yeah.
How does he feel? Well, let's go back to when you auditioned for the Temp. How do you feel about that? How does he feel about what you do now?
Yeah. When I first applied to that contest and got my foot in the door and did the VJ search and told them I want to be on air as a VJ, they were like, no, they were supportive. They've always been supportive. And
They were like, what the fuck is a VJ?
Well, academics runs in my family. Like, all my older siblings are teachers. And my oldest brother was a chaplain at a high school for many years. So I was going to just fall into the line of education and teach. But when I fell into this world of television, they were a little taken aback, but they were never like, no, you can't do that. Do what your older siblings are doing. No, they followed what I was dreaming, and they were part of that dream with me.
That's so cool.
So they were always proud and supportive, and still to this day, my dad is. And
So good.
you got to be that way as a parent. If your child is showing a passion about doing something, why would you ever discourage that? Because that passion, it really it really shines that light, and that child really comes alive, and with a smile, or with a sparkle in their eye, or whatever it is. Like, I would never discourage anything that my boys want to get into.
Yeah. See, but that's such a big thought though, man, because for you, that's organic. Like, for you, that's just what it is, right? But there's a lot of guys that, like, when they have, especially sons for some reason, they see that as their second chance. Like, they see that as he's going to be the guy I wasn't, therefore I expect, or therefore, and that can be tough on a kiddo, man.
Oh, for sure it can. It could put a lot of pressure on a kiddo. Yeah. No, I never, fortunately, I never ran into any of that with my parents.
So, great question we usually ask most of our guests, and you've got a son who's 20, so that would be the perfect timing. If they're sitting in your seat and I say, tell me about your dad, what are they going to say?
Wow. Okay, what would Noah say? Noah's a man of few words.
Okay.
He likes to travel the world, and I think he got that from me, which I got from my parents, which is great. Exploring different cultures. What would Noah say about me? I think he would say, like, I'm a very hard worker. Like, I whatever it takes, I'll get the job done. Like, I used to commute into Toronto twice a day, and this was just up until like a few months ago. I would go in the morning, come back, go back in, and I asked my wife, well, we might have to move back to Toronto. Like, I'm so busy there now. No, we have our life here now in Burlington, and we're not going back to Toronto. So yeah, okay. But I still did the commutes twice a day because that was what I needed to do for my job.
It's a lot.
So, and it takes a lot out of you. It's exhausting. It could be very exhausting, and it's dangerous. Like, all that time spent in a car on a highway, like, that was 5 hours.
You drive that when you're going twice a day from Burlington to Toronto? You're driving it.
Driving.
Wow.
It.
So you don't even have the time. You're not checking emails. You're like,
No, I'm not checking all. I'm driving. I'm focused on the road. So, and that's why I say, I'll, whatever it takes to get the job done, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because I like to do it. First of all, I love doing it. I love TV and radio. So even if I had to drive a little further, I think I would. Especially if my family's not going to move closer to my job. Like my dad said, that mountain's not going to come to you. You got to go to that mountain if you want to get it all done.
Go get it.
That's the one thing I think Noah would say, because Noah saw it, and Noah was young. I had Noah when I was at MuchMusic. I was 6 months out of my job. I was 6 months away from my job at ET Canada, and Noah was born. So Noah got a little bit of the MuchMusic taste as a little one, but he saw me traveling a lot and working a lot at ET Canada. He saw how busy I was. And and I think that's a good thing. And it showed him, you got to work hard to accomplish things. But it also showed me, like, I knew when my next child was born, I knew I wanted to spend a lot more time with them in the earlier stages, especially when my wife was pregnant. But I think I'm getting off track here. But
no, it's great,
going back to what Noah would say, hard worker.
Hard worker is perfect.
How old are the other two now?
11 and 9.
Okay.
11 and 9, yeah. They're so young compared to Noah.
Yeah.
It's like they're worlds apart, And
yeah, we're right in the thick of that now. My girls are 8 and 10.
8 and 10.
Right around the same split.
And a 20-year-old as well?
No, not that we're aware of. No, we just the 2 girls for me, but you're 3 boy dad.
Oh, 3
as well.
boys, yeah. 6,
3 boys.
12, and 14.
6, 12, 14.
Yeah.
My 3 sons.
I had
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. His boys are the best too. They're literally
I wanted a girl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to be a girl dad. If I could have
yeah.
chosen, I would have said girl dad. I grew up with 2 younger sisters, so it was just kind of I kind of saw my dad do it, and it just kind of made sense to me. And then a great relationship with my sisters still to this day. Like,
For sure, yeah.
We all live within walking distance of each other, see them and my nieces and nephews once a week. And
that's
just,
so important.
Yeah, family is, man.
Family,
yeah,
be in touch with them and see them all the time.
But you can have a bit of both, though, right? Like, look at your career, and now you got that too, right? Like, that's pretty cool.
It's a nice balance.
And I'm just going through my little notes here too. Did you climb Mount Kilimanjaro?
Well, when you say climb, we hiked to the very top.
On a scale of 1 to helicopter, what are we talking?
I didn't take a helicopter to the peak. No, if that's what you're asking.
All right.
6,000. I think it's 6,000 meters. We started at 2,000 meters, which is around 6,000 meters, around 20,000 feet. I think. Now it took us 7 days to go from starting point up and then back down. 102 kilometers. So it wasn't like a climb where you're like thinking like we're climbing, like
it's trails.
It was more of like a trail, like a hike, a slow incline, and you really have to pace yourself. You start off really slow.
I love that most guys would have just jumped in, but I made it to the peak, and that's it. Or he's like, no, it wasn't really that hard.
It's not that. It's not like that.
Or the memoir is going to come out, and it was a Land Rover Discovery that
that took us to the top.
Slowly ascended. Yeah.
Well, I hear Everest is a lot more of a grueling climb. Maybe I'll try that one next. But Kilimanjaro was beautiful. You're in Africa. We did it for World Vision. It was a fundraiser called the Kili Climb for Kids. We were raising funds for less fortunate kids of Tanzania and Kenya and all the surrounding countries. But it was a great experience. I did it with the older brother of Jonathan and Drew Scott. JD is the older brother. Property Brothers.
Yeah, of course.
You know the guys?
Sure.
And a few other people. We raised a lot of money. They made a documentary on it. And it's true. We did the climb.
Yeah, because you do
a lot of fun.
Like, I kind of know because just, we live in the same city and you see what you see. Like, I know how much stuff you do in the community. What are you doing these days for your philanthropic work? What are you proud of?
Well, I like doing a lot of kids charities. Whether it's Sick Kids Hospital or, McMaster's Children's Hospital, I used to do a lot of work for. But I'll do anything. Like I want to just help people. If people are approaching me to help out, I usually make some time to help out however I can in any capacity I can. So, but and I've been doing that since like forever. Like a good friend of our family that used to live next door to us used to volunteer at a local hospital, and she would bring me in with her from time to time when I was a young teenager, like 12, 13. And I saw the good work that was going on when people volunteer in hospitals. Something simple, like you go from room to room with a chocolate cart and a chip and chips and pops or whatever. But people would, oh, here comes the cart. They would smile and get all giddy, and that just opened the door for conversation with them. Cool. You didn't know who this person was. They're dealing with something, but it made their day just seeing these volunteers come around. So I saw that, and I thought from that point, I want to start doing a lot of that stuff because it's putting smiles on faces, and it's getting people through their days. It's a simple thing like that.
Plus, you leave like I mean, you want a life hack? You feel like your glass is ever less than half full?
Yeah.
Go do that.
Go do that, man. The impact it has.
Go do that.
It means nothing to you, but for that person that you're helping out with and spending 5, 10, 15 minutes with means everything.
Yeah, and put your life into perspective pretty
does
quick,
too.
man.
Yeah, it
Both
does
my
too.
sisters, like, so my sister Michelle, when she got out of school and then probably for about a decade worked at Sick Kids, and then we've done some work with them as well too. And I mean, go volunteer there and put your own shit in perspective.
Humbles you quickly.
It does humble you, man. We did our radio marathon around Christmas from with CHFI at Sick Kids for 6 hours, and in between all the breaks and songs, we went around to visit the families and the kids, and it is I strongly recommend everyone, if you have a chance, to go in there and do that. It brings you it humbles you, and it just you just forget about all the trivial things in life. Like when you see a child that's 2, 3, 4 battling cancer or battling any other serious health condition that they're battling, it's just it's heartbreaking. But everyone should see that. I think we'd have less worries in the world, and there'd be less negative in the world if people just got a glimpse of that, you know,
for sure.
face to face.
And there's no hospital in Canada that wouldn't welcome volunteerism. Like they would love to have you. There's always something to do. And
selfishly, it's almost like self-therapy too.
It is
doing that
too.
kind of stuff. Like it really does help.
I had a few just kind of random questions. Do you mind if I just throw a few at you?
I like random. I love random.
So I had, through doing the ChatGPT, I kind of saw how many places you've been. And the one thing that kept popping up is you've had these amazing meet and greets, whether it be a red carpet, whether it be at an event, whether it be at whatever. What's the most, or who?
You mean meeting someone?
Yeah.
That I'm
who's
talking
the most memorable interview or surprise run-in? Or give me a good name drop and a good story.
I'm like a 70s kid, right? I was born in 1970. So I loved growing up watching the Happy Days.
Okay.
Maybe long before your time, maybe, guys. I don't know. Happy Days was like Ron Howard as Richie, Henry Winkler as the Fonz, you know, the Fonz.
Of course, yeah.
So I watched that show religiously. And then other sitcoms like it in the 80s, like Cheers and Cosby Show and all these other shows. But Welcome Back, Kotter was another one with John Travolta. So that's a classic, that one. So when I'm watching these shows as a kid, and now I'm in this position as an on-air TV personality to like interview these people, it's like, no way. So the first time I got to interview Henry Winkler, man, forget about it. I was like blown away. I grew up watching the Fonz and idolizing the Fonz. Even when he jumped the shark. He did. He did it for me. He did. He got it. But he's totally opposite personality and character that Henry Winkler is compared to the character he played, Arthur Fonzarelli. And I wasn't expecting that at first. But so anyway, meeting him was bucket list. And then other actors similar to him, like Tom Hanks, you know, watching Bosom Buddies and watching all the early movies that Tom Hanks did, and finding out that, like Henry Winkler, this guy is so down to earth, so humble, not conceited, you know, doesn't need to be put on a pedestal. Like, how cool is that? That these guys are normal, cool guys.
Just bro out.
Yeah. And then I can throw a few others in there, but the other one that really struck me, like, this guy's living the life. He's on top of the world. Everyone wants a piece of him. Another actor was George Clooney. I felt he was so genuine with, and you only spend a few minutes with him when you're doing movie junkets. You know, you go into a hotel room, they're there waiting for you, but he got up from his seat. He approached me. Out comes his hand. He shakes my hand. He introduces himself. It's like he didn't need to introduce himself, but it was such a great conversation. But you grew up watching these people, and then you get to meet them, and they just blow your mind with how much more they blew my expectations. You know, you didn't think they were going to be this nice or this real. Or sincere, and they all three of those people were.
When do you get to the point in your career where, when you're meeting those people, that you're no longer like, I don't want to say fanboyish, but we're like, You're just seeing them as normal people when you're talking to them instead of like somebody else that like doesn't do what you do, and they're like talking to them and like, you know, excited about it.
To tell you the truth, and this is gonna be in the book, I'm always a fanboy, man. I'm a TV kid. I'm a film kid. I fanboy out all the time. Like I still can't believe it, and I've been doing it for this long. Like when I met John Travolta for the first time at MuchMusic, like people could see how nervous I was, and I was already established at MuchMusic. I was one of the veteran VJs, but John Travolta was coming in, and I got to interview him. This is like Vinny Barbarino from Welcome Back, Kotter, man. He's a sweat hog that I grew up watching. I was sweating. I was nervous. People could tell. Whatever, but I was a genuine fan, and I always will be. Sure, you got to be professional. You got to ask the questions that are on people's minds, and that did come across as well. But I'm trying to hide the fact that, man, I'm hanging out with John Travolta.
That's cool.
But I think that works, though. That's what makes it so relatable,
I think
right?
So. I hope so.
Yeah, because the dude watching on TV is a fanboy. So you're asking like fanboy questions.
That's right. That's right.
It works, man. So kind of same question, but I want to go down the music side. Most memorable live music performance?
Well, there's a bunch because I'm a music kid, and I felt my thumb was on the pulse of music back in the 80s and 90s, and I knew everything that there was to know. But that was my life. That was my world. That was it for me. So I got a chance to see Nirvana in Buffalo in '94 for the Heart-Shaped Box tour.
Oh man!
And what a show that was! Like I caught Dave Grohl's drumstick. Like I was in the pit. Like I was a pit kid. I was always in the mosh pit. You know, I'm a little kid. Like I got killed I got crushed. I almost broke my neck at a 9 Inch Nails show because I got tossed and I landed on my head, and it was like I couldn't move for days. It felt like, but that's what I loved. So seeing Nirvana, I was a big fan of Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, all these bands. That was my thing, and so to see them.
You got to see them all.
I got, man. So, and then U2, like U2 is one of the bands, like I was in a band myself for a while, a singer, just it lasted a minute. And U2 and Bono was one of those characters or vocalists that I always aspired to be close with and close to in my own delivery. So I've been a fan of theirs since late 70s, early 80s. So I saw U2 every time they came to town on every tour. Multiple times I'd go to different cities. Pearl Jam was the same. I would do that with Pearl Jam as well. Every time they were playing close by, if I had to drive to Montreal, the States. So those are just some of the shows that really stand out.
Did you ever get did you ever sit down and interview Dave Grohl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought the drumstick out. And he signed it. And I never get people to sign anything. That's not me. I think I've gotten 3 people to sign things in my life, and I think 1 or 2 of them were for someone else. That was Tony Bennett.
Oh.
He signed something for my parents. Dave Grohl signed his drumstick.
But you had the drumstick from before, so that meant a lot. That's why.
Well, I told him the story and what he wrote on it, and he's obviously at the time he's now with Foo Fighters. What did he put out? Out of the Time Capsule. He wrote on it.
There you go.
Out of the Time Capsule. Yeah, he wrote it, and so I still have that. I cherish that. I used to drum too back in the day. I had my own drum kit up in the attic. But meeting these people, even meeting the guys in Pearl Jam, Eddie wasn't part of that interview because he was too busy in the corner drinking his red wine out of the bottle. But I talked to Stone and Jeff, and that was like pinch me moment, surreal. Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots. That's a sad story, but rock and roll stars, right?
Yeah, it's hard to see. That's the flip side, man. Sometimes you meet those heroes, and sometimes they're George Clooney, and and sometimes it's like, man, they're.
But people are people.
Hurting.
Yeah, they are. They are, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he, and we all know, he tried getting clean. He tried getting help. He had his demons, and the demons got to him. But he was such a talented front man.
That's that double-edged sword, though, right? Yeah, I mean, we see it in some of the people that are being, just that artistic mindset, the creative mindset comes with a darker side too sometimes.
Never fell into that myself. I think I had a good enough head on my shoulders from my parents and family members that I never fell. I saw a lot of that side of the business, but I never fell into that.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky one, man. When we talk about it on the show all the time, because it's like, sometimes it does come naturally for people to know how to fill their glass to half and understand how to prioritize what is truly important. But then, sometimes it's medical, sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's things that are really hard to control. So I watch those, man, and it's tough, and it's especially tough when it's people you look up to like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So give me, I just want to fast forward a little bit to today. Tell us about your career. Obviously, we know we've got this memoir coming out next, let's say fall. What's good today? I know you ran here from BT. Thank you for that.
I did. No, my pleasure, man. I was doing, so when I got let go from ET Canada back in 2017, I wasn't doing much. I was honored to, it was like a blessing in disguise because my two little guys were really little and my wife was still working in Toronto. Angie was working at the Marilyn Dennis show. So we were in Burlington. She was going back and forth from here to there. And I was Mr. Mom. So that was great. I was changing diapers. I was preparing meals. That was the best 8 months. It was really cool. It got me there with my boys because I wasn't able to do anything else. You sign these contracts. You can't work for anyone else for a year or whatever it is. So I was at home and it was great. It was the best gig ever. So fast forward, a radio station called me up to be on a morning show, Z1035. And I'd been out of work for a while. I was doing like freelance things here and there, hosting, emceeing. Social media was starting to take off with campaigns and brand partnerships. So I was starting to do some of that. But the radio station called up, would you like to be a part of the morning show? I said, yeah, okay. I've never done that before. Got to get up really early, 3:30 in the morning. Oh, it was tough. I did it for 13 months and realized I couldn't do it anymore because I was a zombie when I got home. It took a toll on me physically and I just didn't, I liked music and it brought me back to my roots of talking about music and being live, but I had to give up. So I did after 13 months and then went through another lull for a little while until, Troy Smith from CHFI called me up. He was the content director at CHFI. He's moved over to KISS now. But he called me up. He said, would you want to be part of our roster on the radio? And I said, yeah, okay. Not in the morning, though, is it? He said, no, it's not in the morning. We got our morning show. It's the afternoon drive. And I go, yeah, that's more up my speed.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one right there. Yeah. So I did that. I did that for, again, 14 months. But at the same time I was doing that, I was doing breakfast television, the Live Eye, as a freelancer, filling in whenever they needed me. But I knew my heart was there with that job because it's TV. It's going out into the different communities and finding out about people. So when a gig opened up to do that full time, I jumped at it. And then I had to tell my CHFI family, well, I can't do both anymore because it's going to just take me away from my family too much because of the 2 commutes a day. So they let me out of the radio side of it nicely. But I still have a weekend show on CHFI that I pre-record. But now I do full-time breakfast television in the morning on City TV, which I love. I love it. It brings me back to live TV because it is live TV.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. And you never know what your guest is going to say. And my guest never knows what I'm going to say at times. So it's really spontaneous and impromptu, which I love.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I like to have a few notes in my pocket, but it's way better to just
Dude, I had the notes too.
Yeah.
Every time I interviewed people, I would have those notes standing by on the backs of my CDs, standbys, just in case.
Yeah.
But
compared to ET, it's probably a lot less polished too.
Oh,
it's at least you can be maybe not as real as you were when you had too much music, but
it's not polished at all.
Yeah.
What I'm doing these days.
But it plays so well though, man. I saw a clip. I can't remember which one of your kiddos you brought in, but they were just off camera. But like you were having an honest conversation with them.
Oh
like
yeah,
they were a part of it. Yeah,
I forget what it was.
They were asked a question, and it was a day where you had your kids in, and I'm like, well, that's even better. Like it should be like that, right?
Yeah.
Here's what it is.
I ask my kids and my wife to come to be part of it anytime they can.
Yeah.
It's a little early for them.
Sure.
But I say, listen, if you're up when I'm up, come with me. Let's have some fun doing this together. Yeah. Which I used to do with my parents too. When I traveled everywhere for interviews, I always invited my parents because I wanted to give them that opportunity to travel and see new places. They gave me that when I was a kid.
Right.
I was just trying to not repay, but I wanted them to experience.
Yeah, continue
different cultures around the world. And my parents usually came.
Yeah.
90% of the
cool.
time. They got to experience it with me.
That's so cool. And then run into some people
And
too.
then they ran into people. They ran into
Hear
people.
some music, see some celebrity.
You have to have my
that's a
dad
nice
in
way
this
to do
chair
it.
next time.
Yeah, that's right. Bring him on. Let's go. What else do you want to, like, is there anything you're excited about? Obviously the memoir, what you're doing is great right now. Anything else people should know about how you're spending your time, things you're excited about?
I am really excited about this book that I'm writing.
Yeah, you should be.
It's taking a long time. It's a longer process than I thought. It's a grinding, slow, meticulous process. But I think it should be that way. You want to do it right. I'm only going to write one book. This is my story. So we want to do it right. So that's what I'm really big on right now. Falling back into TV full time. It's only been a couple months since I've been with BT full time, so I'm really honored to be back doing TV full time. I'm gonna ride this one off into the sunset. Whenever they want to get rid of me, I'm not pulling the plug because I love TV so much. So I'm pumped about this new opportunity. What else? I want to spend more time with my family. That's
number one.
That's always in my mind, and that does happen too. But I think that's enough for now.
Yeah,
that's great, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you had? I'm just looking at some of my notes, and I don't want to miss this question because I thought, what would he say?
Yeah.
So if your kids are sitting down and you put on clips of you from day one, what's the best chirp you've got? What did they say about their
Whenever
dad
my
on
kids
TV?
see me with the frosted tips,
Yeah.
it's like, what kind of hairstyle is that? What kind of look is that? Before the frosted tips, my whole head was platinum blonde, and I looked totally different. So if they'll see a picture of me, like I think I've posted a couple, and they just don't recognize, they just don't get it. They just don't see.
We were all rocking the boy band.
We were
hair,
all
man.
doing it,
Yeah.
man. We were all doing it.
My 12-year-old does it now.
Yeah.
Like he does
Really?
the frosted tips. Yeah.
No
But like my
way.
wife wants to pull the cap and
Yeah,
like do all
yeah,
that shit. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not how you do it. I'm like, just put some hairspray in your hair and pick some random spots and like you just gotta go that way.
Rugged style.
Little sun in, let that sit in the sun.
Gorilla style.
Wait for a little dippity do to finish.
Yeah.
and you're off to the races. Yeah, my daughter, especially Lucy, she loves a chirp, and anytime she sees it, right around that, like when I was probably around that age, I had the chin strap, like you talk about the boy band thing, the real thin or whatever. And she's like, Dad, I don't know what you were thinking. Like she's like, has Mom ever seen that? I'm like, yes, your mother's seen it. And she's like, how did she feel about it? Yeah, okay, I get it. All right,
we're
all growing
going
up
through those moments in our life where we wish we had someone around us that could have said, well, no, maybe that's not a good look for you.
But you wouldn't have listened anyways.
You wouldn't have listened
Like,
anyway.
trust
No,
me.
I did listen to my parents once. No, sorry. More than once, obviously. But I wanted an earring badly when I was a teenager. My parents wouldn't let me get it. So I didn't run around behind their back and get it. I respected their wish, and I never got an earring. To this day, never got an earring. Now, when I got a tattoo on air live with MuchMusic, my mom wasn't that happy with it, but I still did it. I go, Mom, it was for TV. It was made for good TV. She grew to love it after a while. But
What was the tattoo?
Flaming dice.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
I used to play
location?
He's a 70s and 80s guy. man.
Yeah, obviously it was. They were hanging
It's
from
right
a
on my-
rearview mirror.
It's on my calf.
Okay.
And I'm pretty proud of it. I used to love to play craps. So I got that on there for that.
Yeah.
As another.
Do you like to play
lifetime.
roulette?
Games are fun. Yeah, we just happened to go to the casino.
play roulette?
He's
Yeah.
like, no, I don't even gamble, man. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So he goes and he's like, we're going to the casino. This is when we were in Halifax.
Yeah.
And he's like, why don't you I'll teach you how to whatever. So I'm like, all right. So I'm watching the game a little bit and I'm trying to like figure it out. And it was a busy table too. There was a ton of people around there. But he's like,
Saturday
hey,
night
One of
at
the
the
$1
casino?
tables too. So
Okay.
like there's guys
Everyone's
sitting there
there.
just
Yeah.
like for
Yeah.
fucking 20 minutes for each round. Right?
So he's like, so pick a number. So I'm like, well, I'll call my kids. I'll call Lucy and Ella and be like, hey, girls, give me a number. So Ella says 10, and then Lucy says 13. She's a big Taylor Swift fan, so 13, obviously.
Sure.
So I'm like, all right. So I put it down, and I put $100. So it was $50 per chip.
What?
And 13 hits first time.
You put $50 right on one number?
Yeah, I was playing 25.
32
35.
Or is it 35 or
So
32?
35
so he was
times?
getting his. I played 2 rounds, $25 on each number, and my second time I hit
High roll, big spenders over here.
heavy and hard, baby.
Wow,
Heavy and
I
hard.
love that.
So I hit my red 32, and then he comes back and he's got his chips and he figures out what number. And he's like, well, what did that pay out? And I'm like, oh, it pays like 35,
Dude,
32,
that's thousands of
34.
dollars.
It was 34 to 1. Yeah. 'cause there's zero and
It's
double
all
zero.
right, not a bad day. So he goes, so it hits, and everybody at the table is like, that's funny, like, because they knew I was just kind of watching or whatever. And then so
That
he
was
gives
your
you the whole
first time
chips.
doing that?
And he brings out the 50s.
And he looks at me and he's like, we're done.
No,
That's right.
not yet, not yet. Because I was like, hey, he was playing $25 chips and I was too. And I threw the guy $25.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
hey,
gotta
can you
give
put
it-
this on 13?
Oh, I thought you were tipping him. Okay, put that. Okay.
No, you can't play. Two of you can't play the same color chips.
And
And I'm
colored
like,
chips.
Right.
well, I'm already
right.
doing it over here, so I didn't want to like tell him that. So I'm like, okay, just gives it back.
Yeah.
Fucking black 13 hits.
Yeah.
I would have hit it too with him.
No
He would have
way.
had chips on it. Yeah.
Wait. How soon after did the black 13 hit again?
It was the same
was the next one.
The same roll. He wouldn't let us both go in on it because we had the same color.
We
chips.
ordered drinks. We played 3 shoots and we walked out up $2,400.
I want to go to the casino with you guys.
I'm like,
it.
we're going.
Yeah,
He's
so
like, no,
then you
let's
go.
play. I'm like, no,
Let's go.
I've been down this road before. When you win quick, you lose it really fast.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
you do.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. So that
Wow,
was
that's
fun.
a great story.
Yeah. I don't really gamble though, but apparently he's good at it. So that was pretty fun.
You're probably like in that 1 percentile that's beaten the casino and never returned.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Maybe, man.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, it's just I've never been about that.
No,
I'd rather
no.
go
You work
spend my
hard
money and
for
have
your
fun.
money.
I'd rather go like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I like music too, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my favorite part of the trip was just that. We just walked in, kind of followed our ears, what was playing.
Kitchen
and-
parties.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, man.
awesome. We have a tradition on the show, but I don't think I gave you a heads up. So this might be coming at you
Oh,
blind.
this is going to
so-
be good. This is going
Yeah.
to be good.
Well,
then.
this is going to test your dad knowledge.
If
right
you wanted
here.
me to prepare, I could have prepared, but
no,
I.
So we
if he did his research and watched all the
as you
shows,
are.
then he'll know about it.
He's got time for that for sure. Dad joke. Do you have a favorite dad joke or a pun or something you can tell us on the show? And I know that's putting you on the spot, man. I hate to do it.
Oh man.
Usually I give you the heads up, but like you
yes.
came in and I was so
Yes.
excited to
No,
meet
it's
you. We
okay.
were just
It's
talking
okay.
shit. And
Okay, I got it. I think I got it.
you got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Can you tell us a dad joke?
Yeah, I can. So my dad used to raise rabbits in the backyard. Okay, he's a farmer from Italy, so don't hold it against him. Okay, I used to walk down to the basement sometimes and see like the dead rabbits hanging from the clothesline. That's how Italian we were growing up in Hamilton.
Easter was a little darker on your
Easter was
house.
a little darker. Yeah. What are we eating tonight? It's chicken. No, it tastes like it's harder. It was rabbit.
Yeah.
The
Anyway.
Easter fox comes around and drops off chocolates.
Oh. So a dad joke that really stuck with us because we had a lot of bunnies. So what do you call a rabbit with fleas?
What do you call a rabbit with fleas?
No clue.
This is an easy one. Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny.
That's a good
Yeah,
one for the
there you
kids
go.
too. Yeah.
The kids love it.
Yeah.
The kids love that one.
It's a 10 out of 10. Man, thank you so much for your
I
time.
would say 10, maybe 5.
No, it's shit. My dad told me it's a 10.
I loved you guys, man. Loved spending time with you guys.
It's our
great.
honor. It's our privilege. I totally want to have you back when memoirs
Yeah,
out,
man, for
because
sure.
I think we can have an awesome conversation about that.
There's lots of stories there.
Can't wait to see it all,
Yeah,
man.
we just touched the surface with this one, but there's
Yeah.
lots of stuff that I went through back in the day that I want to get out now. Like I said earlier, it's like therapy for me to talk about, and let's do this again.
We will.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
It's a date.
Awesome. Thanks so
guys.
much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
Rick.
Pleasure.